So, the debate was last night, the big debate, and what do I think? What do I think? I think that Kamala Harris gave a very, very strong performance during this debate. She gave a very strong performance. I wasn't surprised. It's not like, oh, I'm so surprised that she gave a strong performance. As I have said all along, this woman is qualified to be president, and in being qualified to be president, she can handle a presidential debate, no problem. Now, people are saying that she killed Trump, she mopped the floor with Trump, she destroyed Trump, she threw him off his talking points, she crushed Trump, and so on and so forth. Do I think that's true? I mean, I think that, there was at one point where he said he doesn't even have a health care plan. I mean, you would think that he had a health care plan after all of the effort he put into destroying Obamacare during his tenure as president, right? I mean, he tried hard, right? And as Kamala Harris pointed out, it was um, but for John McCain, the deceased John McCain, who is a Republican, who gave the thumbs down that, Obamacare still exists. I mean, if it wasn't for John McCain, there would be no Obamacare. So the idea that Trump had been trying so hard to kill this bill, and then he admits that he doesn't even have a plan, he has concepts. I thought that was, I was surprised by that. I was surprised by that. So in general, it's not that I'm saying that Trump was a disaster. I think he got some zingers in there. I think it's a legitimate question to say, well, you've been there 3 years and what happened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Look, I'm not going to give Trump any pointers here. Um, I think that Kamala Harris, in the beginning, she was very nervous, and I was very nervous as well. I was very nervous. But I think that as she warmed up and she really got her legs, she just went for it. She just went for it. She had many moments of like, once at one point she said, "Oh, that's rich." I don't remember what followed after that, but she had a lot of really good one-liners, and she just seemed very, very confident as the debate went on and on. I like the fact that she held her own on the woman's right to choose issue, obviously. The idea that this man and his cohorts want to get into a woman's body and tell her what to do with it, get into her doctor's office, tell them what could happen there, right? Because the life of, all these unborn children are so precious. Then the children come, and this is the same guy whose policies would kill every possible social benefit that these children could have in the future. I mean, all they seem to care about, these people, is the birth of the child. Once a child is born, that woman, whether she has resources or she does not, to provide for the life that they forced her to bring into this world, they don't give a damn. So he's the same one who is rejoicing over the fact that, some people can't get a good education because they can't afford to pay for student loans, right? And he would rather, if he had the chance, I think it sounds like, and people like him, is imprison people who can't pay the student loans, right? Rather than provide a way to alleviate some of these financial burdens on the very people that they forced to be born into this world. I mean, it just seems clear to me that there's a disconnect between this policy, this blanket national abortion ban policy that they have because they're so pro-life, and then the life itself that is created, and then they all back away from providing any, I mean, and I don't even know the half of it, but it seems like the Democrats want to provide all kinds of benefits for moms, for families with children, for childcare, and a lot of different policies that they want to put in place. And it's not even just that; it's also his position on law enforcement in some instances where you have police brutality, where it's okay to bring the people into the world, but then they don't have any rights to have their lives arbitrarily taken away by law enforcement. He doesn't seem to care about that. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, okay, I'm all for being pro-life, but then if you're pro-life, you're pro-life. Life is more than just birth. I mean, then you have to provide for that life. That life needs a proper education. They need food. They need clothing. They need shelter, right? They need college and university. They need help with a lot of stuff because some people don't have resources to have these babies that he's forcing them to bring into this experience, right? So, and then that's not even it. I mean, then it's the other health issues where you have people who they're saying what no exceptions to this blanket ban on a woman's right to choose what happens to the integrity of her own body. I mean, so for that, I'm definitely giving Kamala her due credit here to stand up and push back on that particular issue because that's a very, very important issue to me. Then when she called him a disgrace, I was like, oh my heavenly word. I mean, because he likes to use that word a lot. And she basically said it within a context that was really brutal, where she talked about military personnel and leaders in the military who once worked for him. And it is they who called Trump a disgrace. And so that was pretty brutal. And, then he talked about all these immigrants eating cats and dogs as pets. I don't even think she dignified that with an answer. And I find that very, very offensive, actually, on a personal level. I mean, the notion that, somebody is an immigrant, so therefore they're automatically a criminal in his mind when there's so many criminals. One of them shot him in the air and almost took him out. And this was a Republican, right? He's not talking about that. He made no mention of that particular criminal. That's a criminal, right? But no, he's going to focus on people who are happen to be immigrants. I don't like this. Kamala had to remind him, I mean, excuse me, I mean, have you seen your own rap sheet? Do you recall what's going on in your own life? I mean, you just don't have jurisdiction. You don't have the right to be saying this stuff. So, all in all, I think Kamala did a really tremendous job in pushing back at Trump, and I think she won the debate. Do I think she's going to win the election? Do I think the debate will bring people over to her? I think potentially some independents and some concerned Democrats might rethink whatever they're thinking at the moment. Yes, I don't think Trump won any new people. I think Kamala possibly won some new people. Do I think she's going to win? Listen, talk to me on November. Is it November 6th, the day after? I just I don't trust. I don't trust. I don't trust. Okay, that's it. So I can't answer that question, but she did phenomenally in this debate.